Kathleen Kaur waits with her husband at the railway station's dimly lit platform number 4. The station, like most in Punjab, are unremarkable. Trains will be leaving the platform in 15 minutes, but she is only concerned with one, taking her husband from Bathinda to Bikaner for medical treatment. The hustle and bustle of sick humans grows like the sound of crows on a lonely Sunday afternoon. When it approaches, they push and shove, all aboard the cancer train. I put down the newspaper. I'm sitting in a quiet 2-story home halfway across the world from Punjab, wondering why there is never anything happy to read. There are fault lines in my bones as deep as the wrinkles in his face. He looks up at me from under cloth, wrapped in beautiful dastar, eyes like marble staring back at me. My father is a king. There are 7 different things he has taught me in my 20 years of life. The first being that my 2 sisters and I are as powerful as seas that could take down ships if they wanted to. Flowers that refuse to bloom until the right moment. There is nothing that we lack except perhaps the support of some odd relative that still wondered upon our birth. Why couldn't she be a boy? He didn't raise me like a girl, nor did he raise me like a man. He raised me like a tree that would grow to give shade to anyone that needed it. Humanity was the only lesson he was desperate to teach. He asked me to soak it up like a sponge, thirsty for water like a newborn, hungry for her mother's milk. I would wake up and watch him comb his hair, tie it into a majestic knot at the top of his golden head. I told him when I grew up, I would do the same, and he would laugh, saying, "Baby," before taking up practices and following rules. I need you to put love into every action. When he spoke, his words sounded like the beat of a revolutionary drum. He was the first revolutionary I ever met. The lines on his hands directed me like a map towards freedom. I just hadn't found a way to read them yet. When he was 25, the police picked him up and threw him in the back of a van and beat him until the light of his life faded like an oil lamp. He knows firsthand the definition of torture. I only hear stories. He left Punjab at the tender age of 29, and at this sour age of 50, we found out that he had brought a piece of the motherland with him, the part poisoned with uranium, the demographic that waits at 9 o'clock each night to ride the train from Bathinda to Bikaner in the hopes to squeeze a couple more years out of life, like I squeeze the last few drops of juice from a lemon on a lazy Sunday afternoon while making lemonade. There are fault lines in my bones as deep as the wrinkles in his face. He looks up at me from under cloth, wrapped in beautiful dastar, eyes like marble staring back at me. My father is a king. Even on his deathbed, unable to make conversation, I hold his hand and meditate. Cancer has destroyed everything, mostly his smile. Cancer murdered his laugh. We buried it in chemo treatments and get well soon balloons. Punjab is the eye of a hurricane when it comes to this infestation, as if the government killing us wasn't enough, but now the land is at war with us, and my dad has only a few days left to live, and we have just finished having that difficult conversation about life insurance, picking funeral homes, but we are so broken we skip that conversation about goodbyes because we haven't found a way to say those yet. There is no goodbye fit for a daughter and her father, so I hold his hand and meditate, hoping that he can feel the pulse of my beating heart through it, but also praying he can't feel it weeping. And when he finally meets my eyes, I understand he can feel my love, and although he can't speak, I know he's trying to say that he loves us one last time. So I whisper, "We love you too, Dad."